9:15, after more than 2 years of COVID-related brain drain, a lot of us may have found that we're struggling to pay attention in our day-to-day lives, right? So how can we all stay engaged, stay productive, especially when you're in work and work needs to get done?
Yeah, so joining us live this morning is Peter Shankman. He's the man behind the #1 ADHD podcast called Faster Than Normal and the author of the best-selling book of the same name. He is also a futurist in residence for BluShark Digitals. So Peter, good morning. Thanks so much for being with us.
It's good to see you guys.
Hey, Peter.
Good to see you too. First of all, what is a futurist?
The futurist is someone I think about like what's happening today and how those trends are going to affect 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, and what companies and businesses and governments need to do to prepare for that.
Gotcha. Oh. Okay. Are you into crypto? Different segment. Okay. So
I was into crypto a long time ago.
So as someone who advises corporations, Peter, how do you think the last 2 years really have changed the way we work, right? Because so many people just don't want to return to the office. They got used to the hybrid model.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple of things to think about. The first one is that we took about 40 years of progress and pushed it into 2 years, right? The concept of could you imagine 2 years ago if I was doing this interview via Zoom?
I know.
It's okay, guys, I'll see you via Zoom. No, you won't. You get your butt into our studios is what you're going to do, right? And all of a sudden, this became normal. So the premise of being able to do something and making it work is still kind of foreign to a lot of companies who are very much about we have to do it the way it's always been done sort of route. Right. And so what's happening now is study after study after study after study have shown that people can be more productive from home. Right now, does that mean that certain companies don't need their employees? Or no, of course, certain companies do need their employees to be at work. But the premise of saying come back to the office simply so we can have you in the office speaks not so much to a productivity problem, but a hiring problem. If people aren't productive, you might be hiring the wrong people. Right? There's, like I said, studies after studies have shown that you can do the same amount of work and do it better when you're not dealing with a 2-hour commute, when you're not worried about your subway or your LIRR or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely doable.
I got to say, though, being at home, though, I lose concentration, get distracted by so many things. I look at the TV and say, okay, I could just sit down and watch Netflix.
Well, that's one of the keys. You can't allow yourself. There are certain ways to put certain rules to put into place to prevent you from doing that. Yeah.
So you actually have been diagnosed with ADHD, and you think that the attention issues impact a lot of the population, really, without being diagnosed.
Minimum of 25%, if not higher, probably much higher. I mean, I was diagnosed in my late 30s. When I was growing up in New York City in public schools, it was called sit down, you're disrupting the class disease, right? It wasn't a real thing back then. And when my diagnosis came in, a lot of things that I do make sense. I don't wake up or start my day without exercise, right? Even if it means I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning, I will do it before my kid wakes up to exercise. And the reason being is to get that dopamine, that adrenaline, that serotonin into my brain so I can sit and focus on stuff for 3 hours. I keep the television off behind me. I don't allow myself to watch Netflix or Hulu or anything unless I'm on my bike or unless I'm doing a workout or something. That's my TV time, right? Putting those rules into place allows you to focus on the things that you need to focus on when you need to focus on.
So I guess, when it comes to staying productive, right, and especially because this might be the new normal for a lot of companies, even though people like the mayor saying, hey, come on back to work, we need you here in the city for the economy, some people are going to say, no, I'm working from home. So does the time of day play any kind of role, like trying to get things done in the morning, like you were saying, versus the evening or the afternoon?
So that is a personal question that relates to it. Every single different person needs. So I used to be a night owl. Back in the 90s, 2000s, I was up all night. I was the most productive then. As I get older, my time shifted. Now I love my early morning quiet, my 4 a.m., my 5 a.m. after my workout, sit there with a cup of coffee. Wow. No one bothers you. It depends on when works for you. And the biggest problem is that going back into an office, getting up at 6 a.m. to work 9 to 5 doesn't necessarily work for everyone. I know computer programmers who do their best work between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. It's just what they do, right? And try to put them in an office and say, do the same thing in 9 to 5, and their productivity is going to drop. So a lot of that is a very personal choice, a personal decision based on sort of your brain structure. The best advice I can give for companies is hire good people who understand that they will do the work. Right? And trust them to do it. And you'll be amazed if you just let them do it. The first job I ever had was America Online. And it kind of spoiled me. It was the only job I ever had because they let us work however we wanted. We wanted to work at 3 in the morning. We could, as long as we got it done. This is the 90s, right? All of a sudden I come back to New York. I get another job like, okay, 8:30 in the morning here and 9 a.m. meetings. I'm like, this is horrible. So, understand that this has been going on for a while. And there are many, many positive case studies that this does work.
Yeah.
So for those people, though, that actually have to go back to work, and they're not the type of people that are going to get up at 3 in the morning to work out so that they can be focused at work, what advice do you have for them?
Well, little things, maybe before a meeting, right, or before you walk in the office. If your office is on the 40th floor, get off at 37, walk up those last 3 flights, right? It doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't take a lot to shift your brain chemistry. It takes very little, actually. The simple act of before you're walking into a meeting, sitting in your office, standing up and doing 10 deep knee squats, right, or 5 jumping jacks, or whatever, something just to get that tiny little burst of energy can give you enough dopamine and serotonin to keep you going for an hour, 2 hours. Because let's face it, one of the things that we're going to have to start doing again when we go back into the office is meetings, and no one likes meetings, right? So if you can give yourself that little bit of extra energy to get through them, you're not going to zone out and start be thinking about, your next vacation or whatever.
Right. Yeah. No. It's like a lot of what's the saying? This meeting could have been an email.
It could have been an email. Also, be careful about what you eat as well. Be careful about what you eat, because anything, a lot of carbs. People have I'll grab a bagel on the way to the office. Well, that's a carb crash. You're gonna get really, really wired for the first half hour. Then you're going to drop. Instead of that, focus on something healthy. Grab a couple of hard-boiled eggs, right? That's protein. That's sustained energy over the course of several hours.
Yeah, it's all very interesting. We could talk about this forever, but you're so right. What you just said about the 40 years crashing to 2 years. And just because just because you did something for 40 years doesn't mean it was the best way to do it for 40 years. Peter Shankman, always good to have you here and good to see you.
Thank you.
Maybe one day we will have you back here in the studio.
I'd love to come.
There's your new book, Faster Than Normal. It is out now. Thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you.